Anastazja and the Enchanted Lessons. In a small town where everyone knew each other, there lived a 7-year-old girl named Anastazja. She was full of energy and curiosity, but recently she had been having trouble at school. Her best friend, Sophie, was very mischievous and often persuaded Anastazja to behave badly. Sophie could convince Anastazja to buy sweets during breaks, lie to teachers, and even mock other children. Anastazja felt something was wrong, but couldn't say no to her friend. One evening, as Anastazja lay in bed, her mother came to read her a bedtime story. "What would you like to hear today, darling?" her mother asked. Anastazja sighed. "Mom, could you tell me something about how to be a good friend and learn well? Sometimes I feel like I can't say no to Sophie, and it gets me into trouble." Her mother smiled mysteriously. "I have a special story for you, Anastazja. It's about a girl who found a magical book that helped her understand how to be a better friend and student." The Enchanted Book. The next day, when Anastazja returned from school, she found an old dusty book on her desk. The cover bore the title Enchanted Lessons. Intrigued, she opened the book and began to read. It turned out to be a magical book that transported her to another world, full of adventure and learning. Anastazja found herself in an enchanted school, where the teachers were wise and kind, and the students were always eager to learn. However, in this school there was also a girl named Martha, who reminded her a lot of Sophie. Martha was mischievous and often encouraged others to misbehave. One day, Martha persuaded Anastazja to skip school with her. "Come on, it'll be fun. We don't have to go to class. We can go to the forest and play all day," Martha said. Anastazja felt something was wrong, but was afraid to refuse. Then an older woman appeared, looking like a teacher from a fairy tale. "Anastazja, remember, a true friend doesn't force you to do things that are inappropriate," she said with a warm smile. "You have the right to say no." Anastazja gathered her courage and told Martha, "No, I won't skip school. I want to learn and be a good student." Martha was surprised, but understood and stopped insisting. The next day, Martha tried to convince Anastazja to lie to the teacher about forgetting her homework. "It's just a little lie. No one will find out," Martha said. Again Anastazja felt something was wrong. Then the book began to glow, and from its pages emerged the spirit of honesty. "Anastazja, remember, lies always come to light. Honesty is the most important, even if sometimes it's difficult," the spirit said. Anastazja understood and told the teacher the truth. "I didn't do my homework because I spent too much time playing. I'm sorry and promise it won't happen again." The teacher smiled and appreciated her honesty. Finally, the day came when Anastazja had an important test. Martha tried to distract her by telling funny stories and encouraging her to play. Anastazja knew she had to focus. From the book emerged the spirit of concentration. "Anastazja, focus is the key to success. Ignore distractions and concentrate on your goal," the spirit said. Anastazja took a deep breath and ignored Martha. She focused on her test and wrote it as best as she could. When the teacher returned the tests, it turned out that Anastazja had received the highest grade in the class. When Anastazja finished reading the book, she felt she had learned a lot. The next day at school, when Sophie again tried to persuade her to misbehave, Anastazja smiled and said, "No, Sophie, I want to be a good student and a good friend. Maybe instead we can do something nice together." Sophie was surprised, but understood and agreed. From that day on, Anastazja was more confident and knew how to act in difficult situations. She became a better student and friend, and her life at school became much more enjoyable. Anastasia lay in bed, thinking about everything she had learned. "Mom, that book was amazing. I learned how to be honest, how to say no, and how to focus. I feel much better now," she said to her mother. Her mother smiled and kissed her good night. "I'm very proud of you, Anastazja. Remember, you always have the strength within you to be the best version of yourself." Anastazja fell asleep with a smile on her face, knowing she could now handle any difficulty that might come her way. Anastazja's story shows that even in difficult situations, one can find the right solutions if we have the courage to be ourselves and act according to our values. Each of us can be a good friend and student if we are honest, focused, and brave.